In any industrial facility, the loudest, most visible machines get all the attention. But the most complex engine on the floor, and the one most sensitive to its environment, is the human body. When a mechanical generator overheats, it triggers a safety switch and shuts down instantly. A human worker doesn't have an automatic kill switch. Instead, their biological systems degrade slowly, quietly, and entirely out of sight. The workspace is filled with invisible forces constantly attacking this biological engine. Fine particulate matter, like PM 2.5 and PM 10, infiltrates the lungs, causing respiratory fatigue. Creeping carbon dioxide levels silently lower cognitive function, while constant high-decibel ambient noise steadily erodes mental focus. We naturally rely on workers to tell us when conditions feel wrong, but human perception is a severely lagging indicator. By the time an employee consciously notices poor air quality and reports it, their physical energy and mental sharpness have already dropped. By that point, the damage is already done. Relying on those subjective feelings to manage a production floor means facility managers are flying blind, and that blindness leads directly to a continuous, unmeasured drain on overall industrial performance. This biological drain doesn't stay trapped in the human body. It bleeds directly into the production line. Physical fatigue and mental fog inevitably translate into slower cycle times, compromised safety, and an increase in operational errors. A sudden 20% drop in cognitive function across a factory floor, caused by a spike in CO2 or extreme heat, is just as damaging to the bottom line as a conveyor belt snapping in half. Yet, the traditional industrial mindset pours millions of dollars into predictive maintenance for steel equipment, while completely ignoring the biological degradation happening right next to it. To truly optimize a facility, management has to stop treating workers as a blind spot. The human environment must be measured, tracked, and controlled with the exact same precision used to monitor the electrical grid. This is where the Energy Save Sonde Ambiance module steps in. It acts as a sensory nervous system for the entire workspace. Instead of scattered, isolated sensors, this hardware is modular. It simultaneously captures a massive array of critical variables: temperature, relative humidity, CO2 concentration, fine particulates, light intensity, and noise levels. Collecting data isn't enough. A raw measurement like 28 degrees Celsius is useless on its own. It only means something when analyzed against the specific physical workload of the employees actually moving around in that space. This dashboard maps environmental measurements against strict health regulations. Top charts plot real-time green and blue air quality lines directly against solid red legal limits, exposing dangerous zones. Lower graphs dynamically calculate optimal blue and red comfort bounds based on physical workload. This interface bridges the gap between invisible biology and hard data. It transforms arbitrary numbers into a definitive map of human safety. A dashboard is only useful if someone is actively watching it. Modern facility management demands a system that defends itself automatically. If an industrial extraction fan suddenly breaks down on the factory floor, the PM10 levels will aggressively spike over the 45 microgram limit. Energy Save detects that breach the second it happens. It completely bypasses the need for manual observation. The system instantly executes an automated response protocol, pushing alerts via SMS, urgent email warnings, and direct mobile notifications. Health and safety personnel receive the exact location and severity of the threat immediately. This allows them to deploy maintenance teams and correct the ventilation issue before a single worker on the floor begins to experience respiratory stress. This automated reflex turns the facility's defense into a 24/7 background process, replacing human perception with persistent, high-resolution monitoring. By keeping the workspace within these specific biological bounds, the facility prevents the physiological stress that leads to mental fatigue and respiratory inflammation. This translates to fewer cognitive errors during the afternoon hours and a workforce that is physically capable of maintaining focus until the end of the shift. At the same time, this continuous monitoring solves a massive administrative headache for human resources and HSE directors who are tasked with proving regulatory compliance to outside agencies. Behind the scenes, the platform automatically calculates key statistical indicators across any selected time period, pinpointing the maximums, minimums, averages, and standard deviations for every single sensor. When a health audit occurs, this historical data can be instantly exported. It takes highly subjective, emotional debates about workplace comfort and replaces them with objective, scientific proof. The result is a powerful dual return on investment. Energy Save protects the fragile physical health of the biological engine, while simultaneously bulletproofing the corporation from a legal standpoint. For decades, the industrial mindset has been trapped in a narrow view, the belief that efficiency is generated entirely by the speed of machines and the stability of the power grid. The reality is that true, sustained performance is dictated by the environment in which the human mind and body operate. If the air is toxic or the temperatures are brutal, the best equipment in the world won't save your cycle times. We no longer have to suffer the invisible saboteurs of productivity. By leveraging contextualized environmental data and proactive alarm systems, we can actively secure the workspace. Optimizing a facility means moving beyond the power grid and the machines themselves. It means using data to engineer the precise environmental conditions that allow the human element to perform at its peak.